டேய் என்னை உப்புமா ஆக்கிடாத. ஓகேண்ணா. ஸோ பாரதியார் என்ன சொன்னார்? யாமருந்த மொழிகளிலே தமிழ் போல் இனிது கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. You are probably wanting to take a one-day workshop into one answer. I think AI is going to do a lot more stuff. சந்தித்த வேளையில் சிந்திக்கவே இல்லை, வந்துவிட்டேன் இல்லை. In seed stage, I think it's mostly to do with that.
Thanks to Bala sir for coming here. So we like to call this show the Better Calls show, sir. So who better to call is sort of the idea when we call people. So we want to talk about VCs, or we want to talk about Series A or early stage. We want to talk. So this time we better call Anicut and Anicut Bala. That's the way we want to introduce you. So I have a couple of questions, but before that, what Anicut does, and that'll be a great way to just start. I'll give you some basic information. So they're a multi-asset investment firm. They are managing about 4,500 crores right now, assets under management. Launched in 2016 from Chennai. So that's something you can be really proud of. And 150 portfolio companies, 310 in the seed investments, 500 crores in Series A and B. And they also do debt funds. And that's about another 2,500 crores. And some of their known portfolio companies are Master Chow, the E-Plane Company, Neiman's, Blue Tokai, Velocity, Wow Momo, Sugar Cosmetics, Agnicool, and Impresario, which is one of my favorites for the restaurant business, at least, so to speak. Milky Mist, yeah. I mean, a lot more. I'm just giving some small sample size. But so there's a lot to learn from Anicut and Bala sir particularly. So we'll get started, sir. And I want to start a little bit from your personal journey. So Citibank to ICICI to UBS, and then Orange Retail Services, and now Anicut for the last 10 years. And
I want to be a troll on Aravind for a minute before we get in. So I think I got a call. Aravind, like normally he was very frantic. Like, I say, what happened? Like I knew his father was traveling, so I think we were touching. So he said, so you have to come tomorrow. So I said, okay, fine. So I think, tell me what happened. So I think there's someone who's supposed to come. He's unable to make it. I said, "Hey, upma akidada." Okay, no. So I thought I should,
full discussion.
But having said that, I think it was always a pleasure to come to this office. I've been here many times. Such a pleasure to come. Orange Retail, I think, was one of our investments.
Is it? Okay.
So we are there on the board. So that's how. So I think from a career perspective, it is Citibank and ICICI Bank and the Swiss Bank UBS, and then back to Chennai in 2010.
Yeah.
As a 21-year-old, I think typical how a South Tamil Nadu boy would have been, which is like I was studying in Madurai. I originally hailed from a place called Kalapalangulam, which is a small village, which is near Kalugumalai. I don't know how many of you know where is Kalugumalai. Kalugumalai is near Kovilpatti. So it's like it's one of those places. Like that's where I born, but grew up in Madurai. So 21 year. I think I think I broadly know that like I think I can't be in Madurai. Because my one of those things. I think let's move out of Madurai. But I had one thing. So it is to give a shot and see like I think what one could. Once you are out of your native place, you can do anything because no one does any value judgment. Okay, so I think there is no burden on you. Okay, so I said like let me go out and see, enjoy my life and see what I can do. I always had an ambition to become an entrepreneur. It's not today. Like I think when we had something called a college book souvenir. I graduated from Tyagaraja Engineering, which is a Madurai-based college, which continues to do very well. So we used to take all the photographs of the batchmates and like life ambition we write. So I wrote it as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I think I always wanted to become something on my own. So I think I chased that. It's not today like by accident I became something on my own. So it was always the thought. The thought is that like if you come from a small place, if you come from a unknown place, you have nothing to lose. So take a shot. If you lose like any of you are nobody. if you don't lose, like you become somebody. Where like you can be called in, one call and told to come the next day, like the way Aravind did. So I think, so even for that, I think you have to be somebody, right? So that was the idea. So I'm going to keep coming at it to you today.
I'll take it with
not going to have it easier.
I'll take all the punches because this is a great favor. And
we will forget this now. Yeah.
But great, sir. Thank you. I mean, that's really something. I wanted to start it off with that and go deeper. So you started Anicut in 2011, right?
I think, I should say that 2010, my entrepreneur journey started as a financial services entrepreneur.
Okay.
Like the way you all founded your own companies in, in your own domain, I decided to do something in financial services. So that's
how it started. So what was the initial frustration for Anicut to exist, if that is a question I can ask to you?
Okay, I think, let's put it this way. If someone has worked as a professional for some time, which I did for about 16 years or a little more, the transition from a professional to an entrepreneur is not something which is natural and comes easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Like, I think to make the transition from professionals, I'm sure, are there any professionals here or most of them are? Yeah, I think there are many of them.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So I think I will tell you, the reason is that as professionals, you're pampered. The buck doesn't stop with you.
Yeah.
It's. I would not want to run down professionals. Please don't misunderstand me. Okay. Adi nama illata appadina nama anda poite irukkalam. So from that perspective, like it was, it's a transition which was, for example, I did reasonably well in my banking career. So every place where I went, I traveled business class. In the last few years of my career and before I left in 2010, there used to be a chauffeur-driven car waiting in the airport. And I think probably that was the last time I traveled like that. Now I think, for the last 15 years, I don't know how the chauffeur-driven car looks like. So I think those are the, you take certain things for granted. If you're married by then, it's not only your wife, like I think your in-laws also decide what what you're up to. Okay? It's not an easy thing to, the difficult transition, I would say, is the, unlearning of what is being a professional, successful professional, and then becoming an entrepreneur on your own. It's like, you had a calling card. You could easily walk into anyone's place because you represented some company.
Yeah.
If that company had to be a good one, then like it was easier for you. Here, I think, it's nothing but you. So that transition is like very, very tough. And there is no one, since like, you are on your own, you have to book your tickets. It's like little bit of like, I think, unlearning. People lose out much of it in the first year because this is a difficult transition to make. And after having worked for some time, your ego does not adjust yourself to where the current position is.
Yeah.
I think it's in the mind game more than anything else.
Yeah.
So that's how I saw it. I think my frustration levels were more to unlearn than to learn.
Yeah, I mean, see, for someone who's starting out as a first-time entrepreneur who's not done anything, you have nothing to lose. So it's a tough journey, but it's at least this is what you know, so it's easier. But for someone who's gone from business class to getting the cheapest ticket on an airline to get a business meeting and waiting in front for get a sales deal, I think it's a phenomenal transformation. So kudos to you to that, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, and I want to talk a little bit about Anicut now deeply. Like, there's three structures to Anicut, right? There is an equity seed fund, and there's a Series A and a Series B, and then there's a debt fund. Now, what was the thought behind having these three? Because I don't see that in other VCs. Generally, they typically stick to one structure. Was that always how it was, or did you evolve step by step? Yeah.
Okay, so I think we never imagined, envisaged that this is how we would be 13, 14 years hence. What I knew was that, like, I think look for opportunities, like I think how we can make a presence for ourselves.
Okay.
See, in India, inefficiencies create businesses. Okay, not efficiency alone create businesses. In most of the countries, I would say so.
Yeah.
Like, I think the existing inefficiency has to be broken, and then businesses get born. So for us, like, I think, the easier thing was to evolve some debt products which had market for itself, and like I think a clean run where I think there is literally, I would not say no competition, but less competition. But we are very clear on day one that I think this is how we will start, and one led to another.
Okay.
One led to another. Like 2019, when SEBI came out with an angel fund license, we were probably the first or second one to go and apply for it, because we knew intuitively that I think this is something which I want to do it. When we did angel fund, some of our angel companies started doing very well. We said, okay, let's do a Series A because we are losing out on those companies. And then, like I think as we grow, like we saw, we had many companies which have become IPO ready or near IPO in the next few years. We said, I think let's do a near IPO or a pre-IPO fund. Yeah. So I think if you ask me, like I think one led to another, a truly entrepreneurial, and like just capturing an opportunity, and like I think. So if if you have to ask me, rephrase that question, whether you had this grand vision of like I think building like this, the answer is no. I am not capable of that. But if you ask me whether like I think we are good enough to spot an opportunity which we will not let go, we are too good in that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we will continue to be too good in that, like in terms of not letting an opportunity go. But all this vision, mission statement, I think our HR team is working now to figure out, like I think seriously, when the organization becomes larger, you got more people, then you have to show them, like I think where we are heading.
Yeah, of course.
But when you're small, nimble, I think what would count is your humbleness and like I think your alertness.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what would count.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think if I have to quote Thiruvalluvar, he would say Tungamai. Tungamai is nothing but alertness, and Tunivudamai, which is boldness. So I think these are 2-3 characters, which would define, like I think any human or any human individual or an institution. That's how it's defined. So I would put it that way.
I mean that was very well said, sir. If you look at it fundamentally, the things that you can learn from this as entrepreneurs, whether you're in finance or in anything else, play to your strengths, which is domain expertise, which is what something sir had done, found the opportunities and gaps in that market, and built something that was less competition, totally unique, and staying at it for 10 years. That is pretty much, if you want a mantra for entrepreneurship and founders, that's pretty much the mantra, I would say, right? That's something that is so common. It's not just to do with the fact that it was finance or, it was retail. It's as good as that. Finding opportunities and doubling down and playing to your domain strengths. That's like a solid way to start. That's really great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, that I wanted to talk a little bit more about team building, because, when you're a corporate person, as you said, it's you and you have a set of tasks, you get them done, you're rewarded. But building a team is as important as building a company and a mission statement and trying to work these numbers. I would say building something in the banking would be very hard. It's just my personal experience, because you need numbers, you also need to know conviction, you also need to know when to rely on data, when to rely on people, especially when you're in a venture capital world where equity is everything and valuations are, inflated, deflated, whatever you like. So who was the first person who came to Anicut? What was your team building strategy? I think you're 33 right now. Is that the team size?
We are almost now, I think with the offers made and everything, we are almost about 41.
41. So 16 years and 40 people, and such a great story. Tell me how it was in the start.
See, I think 40 as such is not a big number, but when you have 40 people like of highly competitive.
Yeah, that's what I want.
So 40 highly competitive people managing them. That's a real challenge.
Yeah.
But the founding team, I think, I would say, what normally happens with founding team is you get very ordinary people. Because to begin with, you are ordinary yourself. If you thought like you were extraordinary, you would not have founded the business. Okay, because you would have, aspired for something else. And that's my view. I think ask your father also. So I think, it's like, how do we get extraordinary things from ordinary people? That's what I think the founding team gets on the table. So I was trying to recruit someone from a large bank. So we were in a 2-bedroom apartment. I think, we even today, we don't have cabins in our offices. It's our open office. Anyone can walk in anytime. and like, people can shout and what they are discussing also, unless it's very confidential, they go to the room. So we had a very open office, like, a 2-bedroom. So I think that guy, with a lot of difficulties, I convinced him. So he was about to join. Then he took his spouse the weekend, wanted to show the spouse the office. And she got jittery. Okay, saying that, like, are you from this building moving here? Okay, which is natural, am I right?
Yeah.
So eventually, like, I think he didn't join. But the bank went bankrupt a few years later.
Oh.
Okay, and then he rediscovered his career, which actually happened. But no, there's nothing against him.
Yeah,
but the point is that to attract a talent on day one in founding team is the most toughest thing.
Yeah.
However good you are, however charming, however inspirational you are, like, you're not going to get it. It's very difficult. You are not going to get ready-made people available as a founder. You have to make them good. Okay, so which means, like, you have to have tons of patience. Okay, tons and tons of patience. But you can't get them out of your life.
Yeah.
Your founding team has to be like that. Okay, I've seen that. Like, I always look for within the team, who is that, like, I think that backroom boy who's going to be indispensable for the founder, who is going to soak in all that pressure. And like, I think, also the relationship between the founder and that person is like the first person to be yelled at, or at least like went out, because you can't vent out with your customers.
Yeah.
The easiest person to vent out is, like, I think, your family, like, I think if you're fortunate enough, or like, I think, your family like people, like as your founding team. So I think, for us, like, we were lucky, and patience, we don't lose cool, and all of them stuck around. So I think, in our entire journey, we have hardly lost any people. We have never lost people, but we will lose people, because I think, we don't, in the sense, like, people will have aspirations, they will want to move out. But as long as they learn, and then they think that, like, I think there is something which they are contributing, they would stick around.
They would stay.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I don't know whether I answered it. I just thought I'll just capture it, like, I think, from my perspective.
No, I think we require real stories.
Yeah.
See, a lot of the times, one of the reasons we started Better Call as a show also is because, there's a lot of theories online, especially with AI, you can pretty much learn anything. Yeah. But real stories actually give you insights, and then you can apply that to your own life. And that's really why we want real people here. So I learned a lot from that, because even when I hire people, it's really about connections and doing extraordinary things with the talent that you have. Yeah. That's really, because even the founder is not ready to become an extraordinary person is something that when we are trying to learn, how do you expect to hire someone that's better than you?
I think, just to tell you, like, I think Suprita was sitting here, some of these people would appear as redundant. Okay.
Yeah.
That, I think, I leave it to the individuals to decide how do we manage it.
That's true.
But I think, in my view, no human resource is redundant till such time one dies.
True. Yeah. True. Thank you, sir. What was the thought behind the name Anicut?
Okay. Very good.
It's a very unique name.
I hope I'm not boring you guys. I think it's 10th standard. I stood the highest, I think, probably, I think, in the state, probably. I ought to just check in the history and geography, I think, way back. I was fascinated by history, and I continue to chase history. So I think, when it decided to name the company, so I said, I think, we should have something like from Tamil Nadu, which lasted for generations, which, like, I think, has created so much of impact.
Okay.
So what, one thing which came to my mind was Grand Anicut, which is Chennai.
Chennai. Oh, okay.
So, I had been there so many times. I get fascinated. I think I imagine myself that the day it was constructed, if someone was, like, as a leader, was standing there in that river and seeing this, how you would have imagined, like, I think, such a structure. So I said, okay, it lasted for, it continues to be there for the last 1,700 years.
Yeah.
And it continues to irrigate. It continues to be in the same place. I tend to believe that the construction of Grand Anicut was the beginning of the wealth creation of the Chola belt, Tanjavur belt.
Yeah.
Maybe they attained supremacy in terms of their empire and everything, some maybe 400 years later or 500 years later. But that's what happens in life. you can't do everything in one generation,
Yeah.
I think, except few, cases. Otherwise, you slog, make it, and then leave it.
Pass it on. Yeah.
Okay, so I was fascinated. So I think, so I was telling my Punjabi partner, saying that I think, this is one like where, it collects water, it channelizes the water, which we can collect the money and channelize to companies as investments. So I think, why don't we look at Gran Anicut?
Wow.
So I think that's how Gran Anicut.
That's a great name, guys, actually. Yeah, that's a great story.
So Gran Anicut came into existence with that. So I think I had a thought. So I said, I think we will name the funds after Gran Anicut. So we will call it as Gran Anicut Fund. So I always like fascinated by these, 3 letters: TVS, TMS, MGR, 007. So I said, okay, Gran Anicut Fund means GAF.
GAF.
So GAF 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how the most optimistic people on the day, am I right? I said, okay, GAF 1 to, luckily for us, it played out to GAF 1 to 6. So far, I think it'll go to GAF 10 next year. But I think those 3 letters from Gran Anicut. And when we had to name the asset management company, so Anicut came into existence.
Wow.
So that's how it is. So, but the point is that I think, how many of you are good in Tirukkural, I would not know. I would have really loved this entire conversation in Tamil, but so this was, there is one couplet, Takkar Tagavilar Enbar, our Echattar Kanapadum. I don't know how many of you know this. Echem is droppings. After you leave, like the bird droppings, after one leaves, like the world, you would be known by the droppings which you made. The droppings could be the building which you left. The droppings could be the children you left. I think, what the Cholas left, the dropping was temples and like, I think, also this Kalanai. And in a way, we thought, like, I think, can we leave Anicut as a dropping and see?
Great.
That's how the inspiration
Wow,
was.
actually, a wonderful story. Actually, wonderful story. Also, trademark-wise, it would have been very easy.
Very easy, very easy. And so there was a fascination in our industry, financial services industry, name after everything, and good cultural names which identify with Western investors. Avendus, Edelweiss. I think nothing wrong in that.
Yeah, sure.
So I think only compromise which I had to make was that I think I could not write it as ANAICUT because Anicut. But I have to write it as ANICUT because that's how the British pronounced it.
Yeah.
So I had no choice. I said I'll make that compromise. If at all ever there is going to be an international link, they're able to Google it and see what it is. So that's one compromise I had to make. I still feel for it, but anyhow, like
took
I think
one A off.
1 A off, so I think that's fine.
Just a side note, when when Dad shared your number, he saved it as Anicut Capital Bala only. He's not changed it.
See, I'm sure knowing him, you would not have changed.
He would have not changed it.
Yeah, I wish that way.
Yeah.
But, that was a difficult choice. I took about a day to make that, to drop A. So when some of the founders we are all finicky people, am I right?
Yeah.
Are we not?
Yeah.
So ask Suprita maybe. So yeah, finicky people. But so I think the biggest decision, like I think which took more than a day for me, like in the last 15 years, is to drop the day.
Drop the A.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. Okay, so now let's go into Anicut's relationship with its founders. I think that's really where we want to center the conversation with. So you've done quite a bit of investments. I think 70 companies in seed, roughly, right? So what do you see in a seed investment, a seed founder, a founder who's coming and reaching out to you? Of course, first there's the journey of getting to you. We'll get to that. But I want you to tell, what do you see in a founder that tells, okay, this guy is worth my investment? Because in a seed level, there's very less traction. There's an idea. There's a good team that's trying to do something that's very useful. So what is it that you say, this might work, let's put our money on this?
I could be a little controversial in so you have to, forgive me if it gets that way or, hurts people. It's nothing to do with science. It's an art, okay? Here is a person, so I think, who comes and tells you, I want to do this, okay? The idea is great, and you don't know whether that person is good. Okay, so what is that you got? You got nothing. On an evolved company, like I think you've got something to rely on. But on day one, I think I can see all these faces and say, they are going to do something on their own. They are going to make a big impact in what they are trying to do, because all of them come with the same, how do I say, passion to create it. So it's tough. So it's tough to differentiate between one another. Okay, it's not easy, correct? Like I think all of them look the same. So it's more an art rather than a science. We have got a little bit of science, but I think we heavily rely on the art. So let me put it this way. I think I love telling this story. Since I grew up in the village, like I think our village, like I think has this dog breeds called Sipipare and Rajabalem in every home. We all grew up with that, So I think literally every. It's a hunting hound. Like I think it's a hound. It's not. I should not call it as a dog. It's a hound. And they're ferocious. They're tall. My grandmother. We had the breeding going on forever, right? So grandmother had a very funny way of once the litter comes, the new litter comes. So she has a way of choosing which one to be retained and which one to be gifted. In her mind. Before it opened the eye, I think she used to lift the pubs with that one on the kada pudiche, I think in that earth, I think she would lift it up in the left hand, not even the right hand. Whichever puppy made a lot of noise, she thought that is a good one. And she put it on the other side. Which one didn't make kalada idu sari varadu, she would give it. Okay, she gifted it to others. It worked. We still have dogs which are ferocious.
Wow.
Okay. So I think,
So that was her meter of checking.
Yeah.
Which was great.
I have a similar meter. Okay.
So yaar kaada neenga pidipinga?
So, I just wanted to, there's one great Kannadasan வரிகள் இருக்கு. ஒரு படத்து வரிகள். அதாவது எப்படி வரும் அப்படின்னா, அது படம் கூட எனக்கு மறந்து போச்சு. சந்தித்த வேளையில் சிந்திக்கவே இல்லை, தந்து விட்டேன் என்னை. So someone asked him to describe love at first sight.
Wow.
சந்தித்த வேளையில் சிந்திக்கவே இல்லை, தந்து விட்டேன் என்னை. In seed stage, I think it's mostly to do with that.
So Kannadasan got it figured out in the 80s, I guess.
I don't have any better answer than that. So when we say no, doesn't mean that you're not liked by us. Maybe we have got better ones to fall in love. Okay, so please appreciate that way. Okay. So I think, for example, I want to, when we had a call with Ravichandran, Srinath and Moin. He was promising that he will send a rocket. Am I right? Agnikul.
Yeah.
So one has to trust and say that this guy will send a rocket.
Yeah.
So we fell in love. He did send a rocket after attempting many times. He did send a rocket. And there are people who won't deliver it. But I think, also I think, I said, I can give you so many gyans, I think, very good PPTs, but I don't think there is any answer for that other than what I said.
That's true.
Yeah. So,
but just to add to that, I know, it is an art in a lot of sense, and storytelling and numbers play a role and the larger vision. But just to go a little deeper, between, take Agnikul, for example, between the idea and the founder's ability themselves, what would you prioritize as your interest to say, I want this? I know it's hard to tell it. Each case is different, because when you say Agnikul, it's sending a rocket, and I want anyone to send a rocket is sort of the idea. But when you look at any other company, let's say Blue Tokai or something, they're transforming retail experiences. And now that has a lot to do with consumers and the founders themselves. So what is, at least with Bala sir, yourself, when you look at it, is it idea that pulls you, or is it the founder's ability that pulls you? Where do you lean towards?
I think I'll think about this. I think, you are wanting to separate the soul and body.
Yeah.
Okay. It's I think it's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean is, if I have to go around the room, all of you would agree that ideas are cheaper.
True.
Would you not?
True.
when the ideas are taken up by people of, like, I think, of particular nature, people of particular nature and abilities, and that makes it a good combination.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I would say. Like, I think I would put it this way, if you allow me to. I think
Sure.
maybe a little, I would not say controversial, but I think you may not like it. The most successful founders, I've seen two things. Number one, they are outright bullies.
Okay.
They are outright bullies. Okay.
Okay.
Because, like, unless bully people, you can't do what you are supposed to do. Okay. But you have to do it in such a warmth way. That's the most difficult thing.
It's controversial inside only, I think.
Yeah. And the second thing is, they're bloody extraordinarily focused. You just can't take their focus away. You just can't take their focus away. Just can't take their focus away. And these two, to find it like with an idea, 9 out of 10 times you would get it right. And it's not easy to get this kind of people together. Okay. So don't try tomorrow to bully everyone in the office, but I'm just trying to tell you, it comes naturally. What I mean bulliness is that your obsession to say that I think this has to be done. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's natural. It's inborn.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you. The next thing I want to touch about, which maybe you could throw some light on, is venture debt versus taking equity investments. I have no idea about which is right and all. I want only your thoughts, and give the audience an idea of when should a startup founder raise money, and if so, when do they think about debt or when do they think about equity investments? Please.
Raise the money when it is required. So I think, I'm sure, and also don't romanticize the rising of money as the achievement by itself. It's like, it's not, you're not even there. Okay, so I think there is someone who's equally crazy is betting on you. That's it. It's mere that statement. The debt versus equity, like, I think, it's too early for us to decide in this country, because venture debt as a concept, it's a very, very westernized one. Okay, which is like, I think, along with the equity I would give you, but venture debt has not seen that kind of a growth in this country.
Okay.
What we do is also not venture debt. It's more a structured, like, I think, very specific nature why the companies need it.
Okay.
At least for the first few years of the company's, requirements, cash requirements. One should go for equity, even at the compromise of a little bit of extra dilution. That's what my recommendation would is. Because, like, what is that one bad thing for the startups is the infant mortality.
Yeah.
Okay. You can die any point in time. So when at least, like, when if there is a death, at least make sure that I think there is no debt you left behind. And you don't die because of the debt. That's how I would want to put it. We ourselves are a large debt fund. But I'm just telling you this very honestly, because, that's not for startups.
Got it.
That's my view.
That's got it. No, that's very clear, because the problem, at least I think we see in this in Chennai and largely in the India VC system, is there's a lot of myth and unknowns about understanding what VCs are and how this whole system works. Like, for me, I call it like a conveyor belt. Like, we start in seed, and then we pass it on to series, and then series A goes to A, B. Everyone makes their margin in that conveyor belt. Then it's an IPO or it's an exit or an acquisition. And it's important that founders understand, if you're building for a VC-able company, what kind of metrics are required? When do you raise? When do you not raise? What are the promises you give? And you have to play by it, right? Because they're equally, like you said, equally crazily investing.
Correct.
Because they're basically the bankers and you're the executionists.
Correct.
So without understanding this knowledge, we're just raising money because everyone's raising money, and the PR of it helps us, just kind of romanticize it. So that was the conversation for today. We wanted to demystify this whole world of VCs. That's why we're here. So thank you for that. Next thing I want to touch upon, I have a couple more questions, and then I want to open the floor for a lot of questions from the audience, and I want them to interact more.
Yeah.
Is what do you think Chennai, how the Chennai VC ecosystem, founder ecosystem is working since you're in Chennai? And I'm very happy you're headquartered here because we believe that there's a lot more VCs that are required here. And otherwise all the talent is going to Bangalore. And now Bangalore is crowded. Luckily we have lesser traffic, so we can now use that as leverage.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it a founder problem? Like we are not having enough good startups to invest, or I think it's a chicken and egg problem, but what is your take on Chennai's ecosystem here?
See, I think for me, it's the ecosystem, which has nothing to do with founders or the VC. It's also, I talked about it many times. I think the VC ecosystem needs good lawyers, good diligent people, who does the diligence. So it's not necessarily the founder and the funder. It requires a lot of ecosystem people. I think we are getting there, and maybe the Bangalore took all its glory in terms of, and because there is so much of money has gone in the new sectors, new economic companies, Bangalore has took all its glory, has taken rather.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still continue to believe we would make our own impact. Okay, and there is nothing wrong in being few years behind.
Okay.
And we should be honest enough to say we are few years behind, and say accept it. Because I think there is no advantage like an underdog advantage.
Yeah.
If you aim for the higher from here, I think you really make it well. So the way I'm seeing this, it's not the question of number of founders. It's not the question of number of VCs. We are 5 years behind. That's it.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. Okay. And we have to accept it. Whether I think how would we catch up? Okay, that time would say. But are there enough I think companies which have created I think enough growth, wealth, and then returns? The answer is yes. Out of Chennai, Tamil Nadu, I think some of our I think tier 2 towns also, because you see Milky Mist will go for an IPO.
Yeah.
I think that's a story by itself.
Of course.
So I'm sure there are a lot of companies waiting in the wings in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4.
Yeah.
So we would get noticed. For example, IIT Chennai has produced so many companies, and those companies I think evolve to a level and then they relocate to Bangalore. So I only tell them, boss, we give the money, don't make sure that don't go to Bangalore. But the talent comes to Bangalore. The talent means, see, one big thing is that our ability to attract all kinds of people to the city has become much better, I think, in the last 20 years. Today, we are a little more Cosmo. Are we fully Cosmo like the way Hyderabad and Bangalore is? We are not. Okay, that would be a drag, okay, to attract more people.
Yeah.
I'm sure I think policymakers would look at it. I think there's a lot more which has been done at it. But that would be a handicap. That would be a handicap, I think, because to attract people of all kinds of people from across the country, that would be a handicap. The weather, I think, and all those things is immaterial, because if you have a good way of living, I think I'm sure that we will be able to overcome. We are 5 years behind. I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
I think that's how I see it.
That's true too. Another thing that this is my take, maybe you could help me understand, is that we were talking to Pratik just 2 hours ago, and he said, listen, some of them pitched them, and he said the market has to be big enough that when we invest and you exit, our investment in itself has to be a return of $250 million, and that's serious money, which means the company has to be $1 billion plus. So this is just my general take, and we've talked about it in Chennai and even in Idea Patrice communities, that some of the ideas that we organically come up with, where we're really good at, just generally don't tend to be large businesses. So is that a core reason why VCs don't invest in Chennai companies? Is that a trend you see?
Not really. I think I would give my take, even if it is little not likable, not palatable. See, we will build few companies of what others could not. Let's say we will build rockets, deep tech, and everything. We will build it from the state. We will build some of the greatest manufacturing companies out of the state and then send it to across the country and across the world. we will build some software products like which is for the world we will build. Okay, like the way Kissflow has done, Freshworks has done, Zoho has done, like I think all of you guys, ChargeBee has done.
Yeah.
All those companies would happen. The real problem for us is that we will not be able to build companies for India. Okay, I'm saying this with utmost responsibility.
I got my headline.
Yeah, with utmost responsibility. Let's take Milky Mist and let's take Hatsun Agro.
Yeah.
Okay. There, the raw milk is raw material, which is milk, is abundance. Like we have been blessed with that. Our ability to make that work in some of those, like I think, states where we are not there, easy to market, it becomes easier for us. I would not call them as commodity and demean them. Like they've done a fantastic job, but it was. It was, I would not say easier task, but it was a task which was achievable in a higher scale. That's why they have reached there.
Yeah.
But I don't see a D2C founder in Chennai making it big in this country. Personally. Okay. Because we think for ourselves, for the 6 crore people, or like, I think maybe like if someone is good at it, maybe we empathize with fellow South Indians.
So culturally, you're saying it's a challenge?
Culturally, not only a challenge, culturally, like you have been told that, like, I think there is nothing which is happening at the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that a cosmetic company has to come from Bombay?
Yeah.
Why is that a Zomato has to come from
Delhi?
Okay. You will have a great Zoho Freshworks from here. You would have an Anicut Rocket from here.
Yeah. So you're saying Tamil Nadu will build for the globe?
And that, like, in fact, I asked one policymaker. I'm not saying this as an exclusion from others.
Yeah.
He understood it like that. The point is that, like, I think, if you start looking at, like, I think, this is something, I keep talking about it. If you start thinking everyone like who's south of India is a beta seller, you are not going to create a product for them. Okay. You have to if you have to create a product, you have to respect them. You have to understand their cultural nuances. You have to create a product, and which is like not a tough thing to do it. By the way, they all done it. Like I think the Horlicks sells. Where the maximum Horlicks. In Tamil Nadu. Okay. And sometime like back, one of the smartest salesmen said, every time you visit a hospital, you have to go with a Horlicks bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll get more sick only, I think, now.
I don't. It just needs smartest brains who didn't come from our state on that day.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, we continue to be one of the largest in terms of shoe manufacturing.
Yeah, leather
shoes.
Leather shoes, yeah.
But when we had to invest, like we invested in Neiman's, which is out of Hyderabad. Okay, and because we were so obsessed with, like, I think a particular thing.
Yeah.
So some of those things, like I think I actually it's like my major frustration. Nitin keeps calling me for all those D2C summits he conducts. I've not been to one. Like I think there's nothing against them, but the point I'm making is, like, I think how do I think if I go and ask them whether you know the language, whether you know the culture, most of them would blank. It's true that side also.
That side also, yeah.
But at least, like, I think in terms of the addressable market is bigger. Why would I, like, I think take a pride saying that, like, I am a South Tamilian, an investment in my company, and, like, I think which does not see beyond 2 states, 3 states. யாமறிந்த மொழிகளிலே பாரதியார் என்ன சொன்னார்? யாமறிந்த மொழிகளிலே தமிழ் போல் இனிது கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. யாமறிந்த மொழிகளிலே அப்படின்னா அவருக்கு 4-5 மொழி தெரிஞ்சதுனால தான் அது தமிழ் மொழி நல்ல மொழின்னு சொன்னார். அதுவே பாதி தெரியாம நான் அறிந்த மொழிகளிலே நான் தமிழ் மொழி தான் நல்லது அப்படின்னா எப்படி? I think we have, any D2C founder here, I'm sure there are many.
Yeah.
I would say like you go and live in UP and Bihar and like I think Maharashtra for a few months and then come back and do your product.
Yeah.
Just cultural, like, because when India becomes large, which will literally become, sooner it will become. We are at 4-5 trillion, it will become 15 trillion. Like ourselves will be bigger market on that day. Whether like I think we would have enough products to sell within India, other than what I mentioned from Tamil Nadu, is the biggest nightmare for me as a Tamilian.
Sure.
I don't know, but I think I'm sure I don't have to figure out. Like I think the next generation will figure out. But I just thought, however controversial, like you make sure you put this. Okay, so I think
if it's controversial, you'll put it on.
Yeah, okay. I'm just giving you. See, there are two things in life which are the most practical things. One is politics, the other one is business.
Yeah.
Where there is a deal, we do it. Okay. Everyone else like comes with ego, like I think some positions and all those things. That's good for them. Politicians and businessmen, like I think we are expected to be the most practical people. And if there is a good deal, we should take it. As simple as that. We are the people with like I think people would say like I think I want to go. Why should we have all those things when we can create and leave a legacy? Well, you tell me like I think everyone has done alliance with everyone in the state, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they feel anything like aggrieved about it? They still come. We should be like that. Little bit, like I think, because there are people who are some of us are talented, some of us are God-given in terms of opportunity of education. We should try. Yeah. When we try, we leave jobs. We leave prosperity with our fellow people.
Yeah.
And we should not mind taking those things.
No, I think
I don't want to be preaching, but I just thought I said like I think this is my biggest disappointment.
Yeah, I would totally say no, because I think there's a lot happening, but the larger grow is to grow the country, grow the state, and we have to come together in making that happen. And we are like having these internal battles,
correct?
Sometimes, and we lose the larger vision. Yeah. I think all of us can be proud of our own identities and still work together and be happy about it. But that's for a separate conversation.
But D2C, go and live outside of TN, like I think for 3-4 months before you set up something.
Yeah.
Or you set up only for South India and be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the larger.
Which is also a bigger market.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, 6 crore is a lot, but even South, but I think the larger thing is to overcome and understand these cultural differences to build a D2C very strong enough. Yeah. That like I think we had one beauty brand that we were talking to Samar. I think she was here in the morning. I guess
I'll just
go ahead.
We all eat biryanis, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us are, correct?
Yeah.
I don't, vegetable biryani doesn't get counted as biryani, by the way. So
Birinji, sir.
Birinji.
I want to get the name.
So let's say for other biryani stuff, we are so much of rice eaters in this country, biryani lovers. But would you believe there is not even 1,000 crore brand biryani chain?
Barrows, sir. Barrows? No.
Maybe they have touched in the last few months.
Okay, sorry.
But till such time I tracked it. But I always believed it.
Yeah.
North Chennai eats Ambur biryani.
Yeah.
Correct?
Arkat
biryani.
Yeah.
Then I think one level, the Siraga Simba.
Yeah.
We are so culturally, like I think, so much diverse, but like I think opportunity for everyone. Yeah. We should start appreciating that.
Yeah.
And then say like, I think, what can we do?
Yeah.
So those are the opportunities. So I think there's no one size which fits, but not necessarily every business has to be like, I think, VC funded. You can run a good lifestyle business also.
Yeah.
You don't need to take money from anyone, but you can run a good lifestyle business. There is nothing wrong. Who's going to judge you? When you go to the grave, no one is going to come and say that I think you didn't raise money and then that's why, Come on. So, don't work, you lived a life, like you left something behind, like I think, people looked at it and then you disappear. That's it.
Perfect. Moving on. I think there's 2 more questions and I want to open the floor. The first thing that I wanted to ask was, right now the VC market is a bit changing. I think people are focusing more on EBITA. net profits because there was a big valuation game, especially in the tech startup world. And now the AI has kind of disrupted everything. Everyone's looking at the balance sheet and being careful about all that. How much of that has affected investing for you? And secondly, this whole idea of blitz scaling, like, you take VC money, you burn the cash, and then you get to like 1,000 crores in 3 years or 4 years. And the problem is VCs have a life cycle and you need to return the money. All this is there. How does someone manage EBITDA while scaling, at the rate at which they're expected to? Any thoughts on that?
Okay. What happened briefly was an aberration, not this. Looking for EBITDA, businesses have to make money. All those things have always been there.
Yeah.
In between, there was an aberration. Don't tell me that I think it was I just want to be very clear. What happened was an aberration. Now what is happening is not an aberration.
Okay.
I just want to be very sure.
Sure.
Okay. There are certain businesses which has an advantage of being a number one and number two. Okay. I would put it this way. There are some businesses you will have number one, number two taking about 90% of the market share. The rest of them would have only about 10. There could be many players.
Yeah.
For example, you take Zomato and Swiggy.
Yeah.
Okay. And there could be many.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that, I can give you businesses like which would be number one and number two. Number one would be about 60%. Number two would be about 30%. On all the other 100 guys will be fighting for the 10%.
Yeah.
Okay. So to the race for 1 and 2, you have to create the scale in the quickest possible time so that you become relevant. Okay.
Fair enough.
I keep looking for those businesses. Like I can give you many examples of that. But there are, let's say, like cosmetics as a business. There is no tearing hurry to become number one and number two. Like you would always have many brands.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's say a pizza chain, okay, or let's say a coffee chain would have a number one, number two, number three, number four. All India. You would have a coffee day. You would have a Starbucks. You would have a barista, you would have a Blue Tokai, and you have got, what is that, the Bangalore-based
Third Wave.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think you would have a lot of local players. You take pizza for that matter, like 1 and 2, Domino's and this.
Pizza.
And then Akbar Pizza, Bala Pizza, Aravind Pizza. So I think, it'll be there. So the number one and number two is the game, like I think where you need to be growing quickly and take that opportunity and dominate the market. It's like tiger marking its territory. Every other business has to make money, sir, in my view.
Okay.
This, abundance growth, like I think at any cost, is not going to work in any of these businesses.
Okay.
So I think, this is what being taught in banking when I studied, like I think when I practiced. It got lost for a few years. I'm happy that it came back. Okay, so.
But what about for disruptors? Like for a new market, I understand there are two players, they're trying to make it and everyone else is fighting. But someone like Rapido, who had to disrupt an existing market, they had to raise that kind of money to actually, win it, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's a number one and number two, number three.
And everyone thinks like that now. So that's the...
all founders, you think it that way. That is how you're supposed to think. This side is supposed to behave responsibly. This is my side. You don't become like that. Okay. Let me have the honor of saying no or yes. Okay. You don't decide for yourself. That's the point I'm trying to
You will decide if they're number one, number two.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't mistake this like the other way around.
Okay.
See, the timing is everything, right? So, for example, I was not a great fascinator of Ola and Uber. Simple reason. I come from a very no background, humble background. If all my, I think, my village has supplied at least about 30, 40 Ola, Uber drivers to Chennai. Okay, they come here and then go back. Whenever the 30% or 20% commission is cut, they feel distraught, frustrated, and they feel they are robbed. Okay. I always felt, I think there should be a transaction fee and they should be left alone because they are in the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah.
If you make 100 rupees incentive for them, like they will run away. Well, I would also do that because like I think I keep meeting them once in a month. So I think I asked them, how's your life better? So I think I saw how their movements to this Namayatri and some of these things are happening.
Yeah.
It would happen in every business, like where you are trying to make like little more money out of the bottom of the pyramid and then say like, I think I would have a commission-based, no business is going to scale. And you will always have a disruptor. No, you had someone charging 0.5% commission as security broking. Now one is said like, boss, you don't have to give me anything, you just give me zero. Okay? I'm sure you know who's the broker, am I right?
Yeah.
Well, and then like I think
It
got
boomed.
everyone wiped out.
Zerodha. Yeah.
Zerodha.
Zerodha.
So, you know, it's as simple as that. Like it's an IRCTC model. If IRCTC has to have for every booking 30% commission, would you ever book train tickets?
Yeah.
You put 20 rupees, I'm happy to pay.
Flat fee or whatever.
Flat fee or whatever. Yeah. So those models, if you call them disruptors, no, I have a problem because they are fundamentally inefficient. Those inefficiencies being taken away by someone else. And they would continue to happen. It would happen to your business, it would happen to my business.
Got it.
It would happen to my business also. We have to be relevant. See, there was a time in this country, you had produced only 2 colors of car. I think Manik probably, sir, white and black.
Yeah.
To see a color, car could be made in different colors. We have to wait for Maruti Suzuki. I'm not joking. Okay. So from there to there, like I think, so if like Hyundai has become a successful, it's not because like I think, they're a disruptor. They did the smallest thing, colors in different colors. And it could be a little more sexy, like I think little more accommodative, little more roomy. So not all ideas, not all disruptors have to be really, really too smart. Just poke the weakest link and there's a business to be made.
Great. I think this was very, very, very useful information. I think this was really good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And one question, and then I want to do one small rapid fire and then open up.
Okay.
I was talking to another VC for one of the companies we were trying to raise money for, and they liked everything. We went through 5 levels they spoke to customers, they talked to the products, and they did random interviews. They looked at the cap table. They were happy, and the last thing it didn't close. And when we asked them, they said, we love everything. The problem is we can't exit this business, is something that they said. And I said, what do you mean? We spoke to a lot of strategics, and they simply said they won't buy this because it's a consumer model and they're right about the backward integration. And when we say, hey, what if we go for an IPO? And they said, no, IPO is written off, is the comment they made. I don't want to name which VC, and I don't know if this is right or wrong. Is this true? Is this because can a founder mention that 10 years later we will IPO and that's the way we exit VC and give back the money? Is this how the reality is, or what's your thought on that?
Okay, 10 years is too long a time for anyone to predict for the first.
Yeah, but
I think I'm just telling you. But,
yeah.
How the capital markets were there 10 years back or 15 years back and how the capital markets are today is 2 different things.
Okay.
You never had a concept of SME IPO about 10 years back. Okay, it had its own challenges and like I think some malpractices and everything also. The company buying, selling, acquiring companies was new to India about 10 years back. Not many transactions have happened, maybe in the last 15 years. So I'm a big believer. If fundamentally the business which is being built is going to be relevant for years to come, you would find a way to make sure your investment makes money.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. I don't think if exit is a problem on day one, I think it's probably I would tend to agree that I think with myself, there is a lot more to do with the business itself. Because I've never seen someone walking away saying that exit could be a problem. Okay, that's how I would want to think. This is my way of thinking. Because otherwise, any business which is relevant, I think for a country of our size with a possible growth, if the business is relevant, I think I'm sure we should be able to find a way to make returns on our investment.
That's the thought.
That's how we are.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And but now to rapid fire round, in some podcast fashion. So we'll get that, and then I think you can start passing a mic so that you can start curating on questions. But
hope anyone has not slept so far.
Yes. So just basic questions. Your one book that shaped you. I wanted to know something that you could recommend.
would continue to shape my life is Tamil literature. I think I've got all the apps of Tamil literature. So I think one book which continues to shape my life and continue to dictate my life is Thirukkural.
Thirukkural? Yeah. Great. Thank you. Next one, one founder you admire outside your portfolio.
Outside of my portfolio?
Yes.
The founder whom I admire, okay, many, the one I think who left a very, profound, impact on me in my career is this gentleman by name Sukumar Srinivas. He has a listed company now because, he has been at it for 30 years and a very boring business, very normal business, and he kept it going that way for the last 35 years.
Wow, nice.
So, he, by incidentally, now his company is listed called Shankara Bill Pro.
Shankara Bill Pro.
Yeah, building products. It's called Shankara Building Products. It's a listed company.
Nice. One founder in your portfolio that you would like to?
Any of my portfolio, like I think that, you see, for a, it's true that parents always have love for one child more than the other child, but it's difficult to name them in a public forum.
Very diplomatic answer. Great, thanks. Next, biggest red flag in a pitch that you've heard, like?
Biggest red flag is the person themselves. You would know.
Very off-putting.
Very it's like, yeah.
Any example, like something you were like, can you please leave types?
The many, just tell me who wears white chapels the most. I don't want you to tell me. Just think about it and how they behave. Okay, I'll leave it there.
I know. I got the underline when you said it itself. Nice. Best advice you've received?
Best advice I've received was, I think was from my father. I think, just stay put. So that's the advice I had from him.
Awesome. Great. And what is your thoughts on AI right now? Are you following it?
Yeah. So I'm completely illiterate when it comes to technology, but I think last 14, 15 months, I've been at AI. I think I feel empowered because, all these people who talk about technology, coding, and they all look smaller to me now, because I think I'm their equal.
Equal right now.
I think, thanks to AI, which is very empowering because otherwise some of my batchmates think that I think they know everything. So I think I'm getting even at them, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I think AI is going to do a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. I think it's going to do a lot more stuff, a lot more like ease in life and everything. But if you allow me to share an anecdote.
Sure.
Okay, so this is like, I think when the war happened between Russians and Germans, like in World War II, Russians trained their dogs to be the suicide bombers of their tankers.
Wow.
So, which is like, they would place they keep training and everything. So when the German tanks came in the battlefield, so they led the dogs to destroy the German tanks. But they were trained so much, like the way AI is trained. So they mistook and came back and blew up the Russian tanks. So I think that's the one to watch out for. So I think this is something which I keep telling my colleagues also. Like, in spite of all the artificial intelligence, your native intelligence is going to make a much more difference. But AI is going to be a greatest tool for humankind.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that I believe.
I think you should put a separate session called Bala's Anecdotes. That it's a great one actually. Thank you on that. Are you as part of Anicut's investment, is AI in the picture? Like,
no, not really. We don't understand it. What we don't understand, we do it. So we have stayed away. I think we'll continue to stay away.
Okay.
Unless we get a person of that ability to come and join us as a partner to look after that.
Okay.
I don't think we are getting there.
Okay, we're there. Okay.
We don't have the ability to understand that.
Okay, got it. Next, what's a belief that's recently changed your mind about something that you went through and said?
In terms of societal behavior?
Yeah, society, anything. Personally in life?
Personally, I would say, like, I think the younger generation, how do I put it? Like, I think, the outlook to their life, I think now I started accepting that. Okay, I think it has got many connotations, but I think their outlook to life is completely different from that of like my generation.
Sure.
So I think I tend to agree with them now. I wish I was born 30 years later, but unfortunately it was not to be.
Okay. One investor that you love?
One investor I love, okay, so many, but I think one investor I love is a good friend of mine who himself sold his like software company. It's we are more like friends. I can't name him, but
Okay.
I think we almost every day, every week we keep discussing ideas.
That's great.
So I think it's more than an investor; it's more a companion.
Great. Which is harder, founder or investor?
Yeah, both.
No.
Both.
Both.
Yeah, see, I
not
think,
acceptable.
Not acceptable, but I think I would give this, like, I think, when we meet investors, we ask for money, am I right?
Yeah.
So we become amoeba, single cell creature. When we meet founders, we become asura, saying that, okay, this is not good, this is not good. So our life is to balance between both. So I would say that I think that's what our life is.
Great. Okay. Fine. Simply for that anecdote, I'll let you go. But otherwise, I would have asked an answer. Where do you think India's journey is for the next 5 to 10 years? You did talk about D2C consumer brands and the challenges we have, but what are you excited about for India?
I think I don't think there is any better time to have lived in India. Okay, so there's so much happening. I would put it this way, what's happening is that the scale of imagination and the scale of execution, both together, that I can build a metro of this capability. I can build a company of this capability. I can build a steel bridge over a metro line. Okay, I can build like the longest tunnel. I think this is unimaginable, right? Like we were always thinking, Today, I think the scale of imagination and the scale of execution, both are together. So I don't think there is better time for India than this.
Great.
So I'm very, very bullish.
Any particular sector that you could tell the audience this is something you could invest now?
We are excited about consumer tech.
Okay.
So whatever we can feel, touch, eat, consume, like we love it because like I think
it's tangible.
Like I think it doesn't require and all. Like, so I think just you drink the beer is good. Done. Eat, like I think done. So I think but
Bira is an investment, right?
Yeah, I think it has its own story. But but the point is that consumer like us, like I think people make more money. So I don't personally believe in healthier stuff, but I live healthy. Okay, but this some high-end first world problem of this protein, this, that, and all, I don't believe. I don't understand it also. But I want people to indulge. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of Indians for the first time in their lives are indulging.
Yeah.
Okay, they're eating ice creams for the first time. They're eating more ice creams for the first time in their lives.
Yeah.
I empathize with them. I think do investments for them. I don't do investments for some protein shake, which is like consumed in I think an Arapuram and some other areas.
Great. I think a lot of personal attacks, but okay.
But by the way, I also live in Arapuram.
Okay. But I think with that, I wanted to end the rapid fire. Thank you for being such a sport.
Thank you.
So I want to open it up for questions, and after that, Sir has to also leave quickly. But
yeah, I have to leave quickly, so I think
we'll take about
5-10 minutes, like 1:30. I have to leave.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
My name is Sheikh.
Anicut Sheikh.
So, I'm that ultra shameless founder.
Very good. I found another one like me.
So I'm part of this business chamber called UEF. So Bala sir is an in-house man for us. So I have the privilege of having access to him outside of this room, but I just get the kick to talk in public. So you talked about finding the weakest link in a chain and you can build a business for that. That's like an incremental growth, right? Versus disruption. Like, who would you rather bet on? Like, would you better on someone who was building an incremental growth product? Like, this is 20% better than that, or this is a little efficient than that, or you want to bet on a complete disrupted. It's like I want to change the world, something like that.
I think creation and destruction is two cycles. Avadum Alivadum, it goes hands in hand. Okay? So we have got gods for that also. So I think this disruption, additional incremental value. For me, everything falls in one bucket of destruct the existing and then make it better. And if you want to call them disruptors, I think I'm more than happy to call along with you. But be aware. You will also be disrupted. Okay? The alarm clock business went out of when alarm clock went out of business like that. So I think, but new forms of the cameras went out of business. I think films went out, camera films went out of business. So it will continue to go out of business. So I think I'm saying that the person's ability to be tactical and also I think thinking big in terms of how we can make money out of some of those I think changes, incremental changes. I would go on better. That's for me. I think that's the most critical thing.
Okay. Follow on this on that question.
I think let's keep it one shape so that others I think are deprived. So I think and there's a young lady who's asking, so I think I can't say no to her. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the amazing session, sir. To me, actually, it connected on a one-on-one level because I am also from Madurai. In fact, Madurai pakatla Kovilpatti, adu pakatla Ettiyapuram. So, and the ure is mine. So, I am a chartered accountant and I am in the mental health space. So, we've been here for the last 4 years. Tamil Nadu government has recognized us, given us a small grant of 10 lakhs rupees, and recently we came up in Startup Singham and we raised a fund there as well. But when it comes to venture capitalists, they're very ours mental health is what I feel. I want to know your thoughts on that as to why it's ours, because one thing I always hear is the issue of scalability. But I think it really is not, especially because we're building on a Zepto type model where you can talk to somebody, talk to a therapist in less than 10 minutes. So what's your thoughts on that, sir?
Unfortunately, I'm unable to empathize. Have a seat, please. I don't know. I think, how do I put it? This work-life balance, mental health, some of these issues are very alien to me, personally. Okay, but they are real issues. I want to acknowledge that there are a lot of young people because they have been put into a very competitive life spectrum from day one. This exam, that exam, they are continuously on a treadmill. I think they are under too much of pressure. It's a good space. How much scalable, I think, how it is going to happen, I have no clue as of now to speak on that. I think you put me in a spot. But I would want to tell you only one thing. Your business does not get certified by the money which you raised. Okay, I just want you to keep that in mind. Your business gets certified by the kind of money you would eventually make. It might take 12 months, 18 months, 12 years, 10 years. You be at it if you like it. Period. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think at some point in time it would become bigger. Who thought, I think, what is that? Demonetization would come. And, by product, you would have UPI bigger thing. So, Avayaroda Muduraila, Nellukku Payambodu, at some point in time it will come. Yeah. It's a matter of time. Okay, that's what I would tell you.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. So if you really think about it, building frugally, if you love it, you should continue to build it and it will find you. Great companies are actually, they're found. They are really found. If you look at, there's a big company called G4S Security. You know what they do? They supply security people. Yeah. And they are $2.5 billion worth simply because they supply for the world. It just takes 20 years. That's about it.
And they've got how many number of people?
Crazy, some 40 million people there.
I think the founder must be getting goosebumps every day because everyone salutes him.
Yeah.
What a business to be in. I would have very day traded my business.
Great, thank you. Next, could someone else? Manik sir, please. Okay, Nitin and then Manik sir, yeah.
Hi sir, Nitin from Entrepreneurs Madras. So recently you hosted, Fireside Ventures, Converging and Axel as well. And one of the three major VC firms in India, Anicut, Axel, and
who was the third one? I knew the two. Oh, achata. Because of that, I became the third one. Okay.
So it's like மூணு major VC houses. What is the major insight that especially in the consumer brand segment, that we can all take away, sir?
I think it's a, you are probably wanting to take a one-day workshop into one answer. Okay, consumer is great. Okay, and consumer businesses in this country would do well, but whether Chennai founders would do well, it's much more to do with, like, I think your outlook to the country. Okay, that's how I want to conclude it.
Thank you, Arvind. Very good. ரொம்ப நல்லா எல்லாத்தையும் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணீங்க. Which means you have deep dived into regional understanding, இல்லையா? Consumer brands இதெல்லாம். So do you see any systematic advantage or capital gaps for tier 2, tier 3 founders, especially from the underrepresented communities?
சார், இது வந்து இப்படி வச்சுக்கோங்க, நம்மளுடைய சிஸ்டத்தில் வந்து ஐடென்டிட்டி and caste or community was the same. Okay, let's say, like, I think, and that's being broken now. Okay, I've become a Vaishya. I have nothing to do with Vaishya. Okay, so I'm dealing with money because my education has taught me money. As the societal structure fall based on education in terms of your identity and what you can do, these things would get addressed. It's only a matter of time. Okay? It's a matter of time. Does not mean that what they were doing in the past was useless, because, like, I think it made sense for their livelihood. That's what they did. It is not out of any love or oppression. That's my view. I could differ there. But given what has been democratized in terms of technology, travel, ease of travel, like, I think, ease of information, there is no difference between a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Okay, so I think, as much as, like, I think, probably, like, I think my mother-in-law also sees K-pop series, Korean series. Okay, I'm nothing against my mother-in-law. I think you can delete it, like, I think, if you want. But I think that much access has got. So, unknown Indian, இனம் தெரியாத ஒரு அடையாளம் இல்லாத ஒரு இந்தியன், ஒரு தமிழன் எங்கேயாவது இருந்து ஒரு 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 சுறுசுறுப்பா ஒரு பிரைட்டான ஐடியா எடுத்துட்டு வந்து அவனே பண்ணிடுவான். எனக்கு அதில் நம்பிக்கை ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கு. இல்லைனா எப்படி வந்து ஒரு ராமானுஜம் வந்து கும்பகோணத்துலேருந்து வந்திருக்க முடியும், இல்லை ஒரு தியாகராஜ செட்டியார் வந்து எங்கேருந்து எப்படி வந்திருக்க முடியும்? அதெல்லாம் வருவாங்க, கண்டிப்பாக வருவாங்க. இன்னைக்கு தேதியில் நிறையா வருவாங்க. வெதர் மை கிட்ஸ் would be like in that, I don't know. But I'm sure, like, someone else's kid from an unknown location, unknown village would come for sure. That much. My entire journey is to look for that unknown man. To see that unknown man, who is that one, like, who's going to create this and then leave a legacy. That's how I'm looking at my journey. Okay, but I don't, there's so much of opportunity. We need to reach out to them. And be rest assured, like, not many of the businesses are going to be born in cities anymore in 10 years' time.
Actually, that is true. Like, with Idea Patri, a lot of our founders are tier 2, tier 3. Like, the person sitting here, he's building from tier 2, tier 3 also. But just, I beg to differ in a small point. See, the opportunity that Chennai could give would be relatively different from Madurai or someone else. Similarly, how Silicon Valley can give will be far more than what Chennai or Bangalore could give. I think that, of course, in time this will solve. There is no doubt about it. But
see, the opportunities giving just because you are residing there, would become more relevant would become more irrelevant in coming years. That much I'm sure.
It should be. We should work towards that.
It will definitely happen for sure.
Yeah,
I think it will happen definitely for sure. That I'm convinced. I might be completely wrong. I might look like an idiot. Someone said the internet is the useless thing.
Yeah.
There's one Nobel economist said that the internet is a useless thing when it was born.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we all can eat our words, but the point is, at least where you are would not decide what opportunities you can pursue.
Sure.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Native Pudukottai district.
Okay.
அந்த செட்டிநாடு அந்த பார்டர்லேருந்து வரேன். ஆக்சுவலாக நான் வந்து இந்த ஸ்டார்ட் அப்புங்கிற வேர்டே எனக்கு ஒரு 2 வருஷமாக தான் தெரியும்.
இல்லை, நிறைய பேருக்கு அது எங்களுக்கு அப்படி தான் தெரியும். இல்லை, தொழில் தொடங்குறதுங்கிறதுக்கு அது
பட் அந்த ஐடியா எனக்கு வந்து, நான் வந்து அக்ரி சப்ளை செயின் தான் என்னோட ஸ்டார்ட் அப். வில்லேஜ் டு வில்லா ஓஎம்எல் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் ஒரு 20 அப்பார்ட்மெண்ட் கவர் பண்ணிட்டேன். பட் ஆனால் எனக்கு இது நான் 2017 நான் கொண்டு வந்து ஐடியா அதை தான் உருவமாக்கி ஃபைனலாக ஐடியா பற்றியில் ஒரு ஷார்ட் லிஸ்ட் மூலமாக தான் எனக்கு வந்து அது ஒரு கம்ப்ளீட்டாக ஒரு உருவம் கிடைச்சதான் நம்புகிறேன். பட் இன்னமும் வந்து ரூரலில் இருக்க ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டாக இருக்கட்டும், ஒரு யங்ஸ்டராக இருக்கட்டும், அவங்களுக்கு இந்த ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் அப்போ இல்லை இந்த ப்ரெசன்ட் பண்ணுறதோ இது வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியாக இருக்க தான் நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணுறேன் சார். அதாவது அவங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப போய் சேர்றதுக்கு நானும் என்கிட்ட எத்தனை பேர் ஒரு விஷயத்தை ஷேர் பண்ணால் எனக்கு கிடைச்ச அனுபவத்தை யான் பெற்ற இன்பம் அதை நான் அவங்களுக்கு பகிர்ந்துருக்கேன். பட் ஆனால் இன்னமும் வந்து லைக் கவர்மெண்ட் என்ன மாதிரி இனிஷியேட்டிவ் எடுத்தால் நல்லாயிருக்கும், இல்லை அவங்களுக்குள்ள ஆர்வத்தை எந்த மாதிரி இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணால் நல்லா இருக்குங்கிறத நான் உங்கள் மூலமாக எதிர்பார்க்குறேன்.
தலைவா, வித்து விதைக்கும் போது எல்லாமே வீரியமாக வரணும் தான் விதைக்கிறோம். வித்து தெரியும்ல, சீடு. ஓகே, வித்து விதைக்கும் போது எல்லாமே வீரியமாக தான் வரணும்னு நினைக்கிறோம். பை நேச்சர், லைக் ஐ திங்க் சம்திங் பிகம்ஸ் மக்கு விதை, மக்கி போன விதை. You can't do anything about it. It's a nature. Not, you don't expect everyone to be like crazy like you or crazy like Suresh. Not everyone. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Why the hell, like, I think you traveling for 10 days in US, I don't know. Okay, I'm saying myself also, I'm going to travel tomorrow morning for the next 3 days. Within, what you are, if you are expecting your clones also from there, it is a disservice you are doing. You are looking for that one individual out of the 1000-il oruvan or lakshathil oruvan, like you are looking for that. Everyone else be normal. Just imagine if everyone has to become a startup, what would happen? It becomes difficult, am I right? So, you are looking for, like, I think someone which is, how do I put it? Like, I think extraordinarily, like, I think wanting to pursue for some strange reasons. There will be few. They would continue to be few.
Yeah.
Your job is to identify and tell them that, I think, meet Aravind or meet someone, like, I think, so that they can all assemble here. And when you go back home, you decide whether it is for you or not.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Like, I think then otherwise you would need the help of our Kovilpadi Etabaram friend.
Yeah.
Correct? So I think just be. So I think don't expect the same thing from everyone else. It's not possible.
Yeah.
I don't expect the same thing from my sons.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Actually, the thing is, opportunity should be given to
everyone.
Yeah.
Who wants to pursue is their choice.
அதாவது இப்போ வந்து 1000ல் 2 பேர் வராங்க. நம்ம ஐடியா பண்றதை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் 100ல் 2 பேர் ஆகினாலே பெரிய சக்சஸ். அது வந்து like 10 times. It's not even doable. In fact, it's hard. So the goal is to increase decrease the startup mortality rate.
I'll tell you my seed fund statistics, like I took on the way. Just thought, I think we have looked at 6,800 pitches. Somewhere around that, 6,800 or 6,900 pitches. Leave that. அது ஷார்ட் லிஸ்ட் பண்ணது இந்த கன்சலேஷன் பிரைஸ் மாதிரி. ஆறுதல் பிரைஸ்ல வேஸ்ட். எத்தனைக்கு போய் பணம் போய் வச்சிருந்தாலும் தான் பார்க்கணும். ஷார்ட் லிஸ்ட் பண்ணல என்ன இருக்கு? அது வந்து
6,800ல what was the
74 இன்வெஸ்டட். ஓகே,
பர்சன்டேஜ்
நீங்க அந்த 74க்கு அவார்டு கொடுக்கணுமா இல்ல அந்த 6,800 உட்கார்ந்து நாங்க பார்த்தவங்களுக்கு அவார்டு கொடுக்கணுமா? நீங்க தான் முடிவு பண்ணிக்கணும்.
It's not even 1%.
Not even 1%.
1 point something.
That's the problem with all the rational people, which is immediately they will make it percentage. I never lived in the gray. I always never lived in 1 to 2. I always lived in 1.1111. That makes you possible, am I right? Everything, which is good. I'm not criticizing you, but it could have been easily 1.13 if someone else has gotten. There's no logic to it.
Yeah.
So, but you should give it to us. Like, I think, having listened to 6,800 people.
Yeah, I would rather say that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Great. Someone from the back, if they could ask, please. Yeah.
Very good afternoon to all. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and thank you for this wonderful session. Just one quick question: like, for any startup in this world, when AI technology evolves, right? Where do you see, like, how much should they invest, or how much time should they take for them to see results?
I think I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not getting into astrology for sure. But sir, it's a lifetime pursuit.
Yeah.
Any business which you do is a lifetime pursuit. It's not like, I think, it's not an instant noodle or an instant mart delivery. You are at it. You are at it for the time till such time it works. Unless it becomes redundant, like the alarm clock. You are at it.
Yeah.
You are at it.
Thank you so much. The reason I thought of asking you is because, like, I come from Megam Technologies. I'm co-founder and chief growth officer there, where we have built out MeBot solution. Whenever you have time, I would like to get on a call with you and like walk you through the process. And I'm pretty sure that it will be you will be interested in it and whoever here.
Okay, let me make the statement. I'm interested in everyone here. Okay, so I think but there's a team which looks at all the things which you would be sending it. I think it's like invest@anicutcapital.com. You can send the mail, and you be rest assured everyone would get answered.
Yeah.
Okay, that much I can tell you.
Yeah.
By reaching me, you are doing a disservice to yourself because half the time I'm traveling.
Yeah.
So I think
Actually, Anicut's team is very, very.
Yeah, I think I'm
adept.
sure.
Yeah, we have a very good relationship with them,
So,
and anything we've sent, they've taken a look at and very promptly responded.
Yeah.
So
One question we'll take it, sir. One.
I think you need to.
Maybe three. I think 4 hands have gone up. All 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
From the last bench, sir.
The last. Yeah.
Last one.
We will acknowledge the last bench.
That is the last bench, which all of us are.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I think they're reaching out to the last person, sir.
Yeah. Okay. We'll finish and come to Gautam, sir. Yeah.
If a founder is raising for the first time seed, எவ்வளோ funds வந்து raise பண்ணலாம் on what valuation? So it's kind of a question I think broader of us would like to understand.
தம்பி நான் இப்பயும் சொல்றேன், எவ்வளோ பணம் தேவைப்படுதோ அவ்வளோ பணம் ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்றேன். இது இப்போ
இது கேட்டா திட்டுவாங்க அப்படின்னா இல்லவே இல்லை.
நான் நிறைய பேர் இந்த மாதிரி கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்லாம் வரும்போது ஒருத்தர் எப்படியாவது அந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்ல ஒருத்தர் இருப்பார் சார், $1 பில்லியன் ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் வச்சிருக்கேன்னு ஒருத்தர் வருவார். அது யாருன்னு தெரியல, இந்த குரூப்ல உட்காந்துருப்பார் ஒருத்தர். என்ன அப்படியா சார், நான் வந்து ஏன்னா நான் $1 பில்லியன் பார்த்ததே கிடையாது. ஆனால் அப்படி வரும். நம்மளுக்கு என்ன வேணுமோ அது நம்மளுக்கு வந்து நம்மளுடைய தொழிலுக்கு எவ்வளவு தேவைப்படும் அப்படிங்கிறது உங்களை தவிர வேற யாருக்குமே தெரியாது. அது என்னவோ அந்த அமௌண்ட்டை நாங்கள் அந்த தொகையை ரைஸ் பண்ணுறது தானே கரெக்டு. அப்படிதான் நான் பார்க்குறேன். இதில் இவ்வளவு கொடுத்தா கரெக்டாக இருக்கும், எவ்வளோ கொடுத்தா கரெக்டாக இல்லாத இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு எனக்கு புரியல. எனக்கு 50 லட்சமாக இருக்கலாம், 20 லட்சமாக இருக்கலாம், 10 லட்சமாக இருக்கலாம், 2 கோடி இருக்கலாம், 3 கோடி இருக்கலாம், 4 கோடி இருக்கலாம், எது வேணாலும் இருக்கலாம். ரொம்ப நன்றி.
எஸ்
சார்.
I'm Anicut Suresh. I run a discrete angel forum where we invest into hardware-driven IP investments. We have follow-on investments from our portfolio companies from Oxelar, IPV, Axel, and a few others. I'm trying to understand how your theme has changed over a period of time. For instance, you said you're not looking at AI because you don't understand that. Take you back 3 or 4 years ago. Did you understand E-Plane and Agnicool, or was it more of a gut-based investments based on the fire that you see on the entrepreneur?
Very good question.
Yeah.
See, I was an engineer too. I'm not saying I'm an engineer today. I was an engineer too. Went to the engineering college. One thing as a banker, what it teaches you is to be a generalist. We know every business. We don't know any business in full. I just want to make sure. We know every business because we deal with all the business people, like I think construction, like electrical, everything. But we don't understand anything as a commercial banker. That's how we've been trained. Deep tech engineering services, the trend which we saw is nothing to do with what they were doing. It's more to do with the best of brains need not go out of India to create something like that. They can stay back in IIT Chennai, or they can stay back in the country and create it. That was the theme. Rather than like, I think, sending a rocket as a theme. Okay. And that continues to be our theme. The bright people, can they stay back in India and realize their potential and realize their dreams? That's how the theme was born. Then, like, I think, the gut takes it over and see whether, like, I think, these guys can send the rocket. And, some of these are 0 or 1. Okay, I used to say that I think, if the rocket goes, like, you clap. If the rocket falls, like, go and collect it in Marina, at least we can keep some souvenir in the office.
Yeah.
You just check with my colleagues. So theme is that. The reason why I'm saying is AI is like, I think, something which I don't understand. Is that like, I think I'm not in thick of things where like, I think it's once it's established, it is not a moving point. In like, I think the computing is going on, quantum computing, like I think AI computing, the chips, like everything is getting designed, like I think, I don't know what's happening around me, like I think, but here, whether this is purposeful for India, this is purposeful for the world, I can assess. Yeah, I don't have that kind of capability. So that's why I said, we don't understand it. We don't intend to get it at this point in time. But, that's not forever. As we get good people, I'm sure, like, I think we will develop the conviction and then look at it. But today I'm talking from our inability of the current team. But we will change it. But as a themes, like if you say, we expect more unorganized things to become organized, thanks to GST. We have two choices, either to criticize GST in the social media or follow the theme. Which one makes money, you would have realized by now. Okay. Second is people staying back in the country and realizing their potential. That's the second theme. The third theme is what I grew up with as consumer brands. My kids will not use it for sure. Okay, because they want to be looking different for no reason, using my own money. Okay, for sure. Okay, that's why we said, okay, I drink Kingfisher, my kids will drink Bira. I grew up with Jackie or nothing than Jackie. And then like we said, XYXX. Okay, I can give you that's the thesis. I continue to believe it. Okay, what you believe, be rest assured your kids are not going to do the same thing. That will be another generational brand waiting to come. Okay, whether they will come out of Chennai, I don't know. But I think that's a dig on Nitin.
Sure.
So like those kind of themes, we were at it. Okay, so, and then the theme is that I think, people like Suresh, like I think they can build the product for the globe. And which is not going to be consuming a lot of capital. It will consume capital, but not a lot of capital.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bala.
Thank you so much.
We'll have one last
question and finish it, sir.
Yes. Here, down here. Yeah.
Vanakkam, sir.
Vanakkam.
Sir, I am building an organization in aftermarket. It's named as Accelerator Mobility. We are cash positive from the day one. This is the fourth year of our operation. So my question to you is, see, we were trying to raise funds and we got some term sheets also. Because of the equity dilution, we kept away. Now, we are creating the moat, winding our moat in our business. Still, I have a doubt when I should raise the funds.
Did you ever think like that when you got married?
Sorry? Yeah.
Did you have a time frame when you decided like I should get married now? Did you ever think like that?
It's on the process.
It's the same thing.
No. My doubt is whether in the phased manner with the availability of funds within the organization, I'm building the organization.
You should. That's the best way to build it.
But my doubt is whether that moat is good enough to carry forward. Otherwise, copycat will come and take away. Or I have to raise the funds and go in a full swing.
Copycats will always come, be guaranteed. Whether they are good enough to think like you or execute like you is what would make a difference. No copycat has survived beyond some time.
Yeah.
Rapido is not a copycat. It's I think probably like have a seat. I would finish with this. See, like special people are force of nature. Here came Sakti Avanga. You see a Ilayaraja, you would clearly know they are force of nature. Yes, A.R. Rahman, Rajinikanth, some of the actors, like I think politicians, like I think Kalangar, Jayalalitha, Modi, like I think Nehru. They are all force of nature. They come from somewhere. Entrepreneurs are like that. They are force of nature. Okay, not anyone can copycat them. It's impossible. Okay, if copycat, I think I have not seen them surviving for a long time. If you are a force of nature, if you believe yourself, you are going to make it. I will end with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bala sir. It's really a wonderful session.